everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Small Bites. My name is Dr. Karen McDowell, and I'm here today to talk to you about using journals to help you explore boundary setting. Now, if you've been watching our series this month in April, we've been talking a lot about self-expression, and if you watch any of the work that I ever do, I'm always talking about boundaries. So today, we're going to kind of combine those and look at journaling and self-expression as a way to explore boundary setting. Now, you may want to grab a piece of paper and do this activity along with me, or you might like to just watch and do it later on your own time. Either way is fine. Today, I'm using my own journal right now. This is my current journal. You can see that I've covered it with stickers because I love stickers. And I've opened to a random page. I prefer the Moleskine journals with the tiny dots on it instead of lined or blank paper because it lets me draw squares and draw shapes better when I have these little dots to help me. But you can use a blank sheet of paper or any kind of journal or the back of a receipt if that's what's easiest for you. So for this activity, I'm going to use some little tabs that you get at the office store. They're the little like marker tabs you might use in a textbook. I'm gonna use a pen. I'm gonna use my journal. That's all I need for this activity. So the first thing I'm gonna do is use these little tabs to think of all the different people that I have in my life that I see on a regular basis. So I'm gonna choose to use orange tabs for my family members. And we're thinking of people that are in your life, just kind of day to day. And I'm gonna use pink for my friends, maybe like people that I'm close with. And then I'm gonna use yellow for maybe acquaintances, people that I might see in my day-to-day life, but maybe I don't know super well or maybe aren't close friends. And I'm gonna pick green to show people who are in my life that maybe I don't want to be in my life. Maybe they are your boss or landlord or somebody that you have to deal with, but maybe isn't your favorite person. So I've placed a bunch of stickers here, and I may fill all of these in and I may not. You may have a lot more stickers than I do, or you may have fewer, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and write the names of those people on these little stickers. Okay, so now I have kind of a picture of the people that are in my life on a day-to-day basis. Now, I want to use journaling as a way to explore these relationships, not necessarily to put them in order of best to worst or most important to least important, but in keeping with our understanding of boundaries, I want to know how all of these people affect me and if there's any changes that I might need to make. So now on the second page of my journal, I'm gonna draw a circle in the middle, and I'm gonna draw an adorable little stick figure. That is me. Suddenly I have curly hair, which is interesting, but journals can be messy, so we're just gonna go with it. But that's me. I'm gonna draw another circle around me. I'm gonna draw a bigger circle. Maybe one more circle. Now, if you watched last week's episode, you learned about tracking, which is where you're documenting things or putting things down in your journal to help you understand better. And next week, we're going to be talking about messiness in your journal. So I'm going to give you a little introduction to that by saying your circles in this activity do not have to be perfect. In fact, if you spend too much time making them perfect, you're not going to get to the point of this activity. Okay, so in the center, again, that's me with my adorable curly hair. And now I'm gonna look back at this list of people that I have, and I'm gonna decide who I wanna put in this circle closest to me. So, I'm gonna put my mom, and I'm gonna put my friend Kate, and I'm gonna put my friend Jen and my sister. Let's say those are the four closest people that I have in my life. Then I have to think about how do I define that? What makes them close to me? Does that mean that I'm willing to do more things for them that I might be for other people? Does it mean that I need more from them? I expect more from them? Does that mean that I give more time or energy, or that I am quicker to forgive or quicker to respond to if there's hurt? So to think about what kind of makes that inner circle the inner circle. So then thinking about the second circle, so close to you, but not super close to you, not in your inner circle. And in these areas might be, maybe Dad's in that area. Probably my friends Melissa and Derek are in that area. By the way, I made all these names up. These aren't my real friends. And then Mario, let's say Mario, that dude at work that I spend some time with, he's an acquaintance because he's yellow, but he's pretty chill and I like him and maybe I want to be better friends with him. So I'm gonna go ahead and give him in that second ring. And maybe at some point we become friends enough that he moves into that first ring, but maybe not. And if not, that's okay. So again, I want to think about that second ring and what that means. What does that mean in terms of how much time or energy I might give those people or the things I might expect from them? In the third ring now, you can imagine that we're going to be putting people that are peripheral to you and in your life, but maybe you're not that close to, or maybe you don't want them kind of encroaching on your inner circle. So let's put these acquaintances, maybe these two yellow work acquaintances are fine at work, but maybe like I don't really want to hang out with them outside of work or whatever. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick these three people that I don't like out here in the outside. So now I've done a journaling exercise here. And remember, journaling does not have to be a diary where you're writing out all of your feelings and you're putting everything into sentences. A journal is designed to help you reflect or express your experiences onto a page so that you can understand them better. So as I look at this, I might say, gosh, the people in my second circle are actually some of the people I want in my inner circle. But you can see that that inner circle doesn't have a lot of room in it, doesn't have a lot of space in it. And that's true. We know from social psychology that you can only have a finite number of very intimate relationships, just in terms of the time and energy that intimacy requires. So I can look at this and say, are these 4 people in my inner circle who I actually want to be in my inner circle? Are those the people that I would choose? Or have they placed themselves there? Or did I place them there out of obligation or out of expectation of some sort? And one of the things I love about this kind of tracker is that you can start making changes to it. So I might say, you know what, I need Kate. You know, maybe we've had some tough times, or maybe we haven't talked a lot lately. So maybe Kate's going to go ahead and move to the second circle, not because it's bad, but just because I'm really needing to spend some more time with Derek instead, and I need to bring Derek in a little bit closer. And so Kate's going to move a little bit out. Now, these aren't things that you go and you tell people. Don't go say, I've demoted you. But in your own exploration, your own understanding of what you want your life to look like, if you can think about your relationships as having proximity to you and that you are in control of that. Now, there have been times that I've done this exercise in groups of people. Sometimes I've seen people who have 10 or 12 or 14 of these little tabs shoved all into this center ring. I'm just gonna do it to show you what it looks like. They'll say, I have this many close friends. They'll say, I have this many close friends. I couldn't fit them all in there. They wouldn't fit in there. And then I have to say, I don't think that these friendships are as close as you think they are, because you can't nurture these kinds of friendships that way. That can often leave you feeling even more lonely when you feel like you have a lot of friends crammed into your innermost circle, but you can't actually nurture those relationships. It may leave you feeling lonelier than before. So there are lots of things you can do with this kind of journaling activity. You could create one of these maps the way that your life is now, and then create another one for what you would like your life to be like. And then you can use your journals to process that and start to figure out where you might need to start drawing boundaries so that other people and other good things can come into your life. Remember, good things don't come into your life unless there is space for them to come into it. So if your inner circle is crammed full of people that don't actually feed your soul, you are preventing other good, awesome people from coming into that space. So don't be afraid to have a little bit of an empty outer circle for a while. Don't be afraid to say, hey, you wounded me. I think that I need to back off our friendship anymore. It's okay for you to have blank spots in your circle. It's okay for you to wait and see who comes into this inner circle, who deserves to be in that inner circle, and who cherishes you the way that you cherish the people in those inner circles. So those are my thoughts for today. As always, we really want to see what kind of work you come up with, what kind of ideas you come up with. So if you do this activity, please post a picture of it or send it in an email if it's private. We would love to see it. Here at The Gracious Mind, we've got all kinds of mental health resources for you. So find us on all the social media platforms and at www.thegraciousmind.com. We'll see you next week.